I could lose an eye, but imagine the pop.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Imagine the Pop. I am your host, Matty B, and this is a very special show because this is a review of NCL 50 from North Wrestling. North Wrestling are one of the biggest UK independent promotions in the country right now, and they just had their 50th show, NCL 50, at the Anarchy Brewery in Newcastle. It was incredible. We're going to talk about it. I've been watching North Wrestling shows live for the last couple of years. A friend introduced me to it, and I love North Wrestling shows. It is professional wrestling at its best. It is everything professional wrestling should be and could be and is. It is comedy, it is crowd work, it is athletics, it is good guys and bad guys and stories. North Wrestling, even though they don't have the week-to-week episodic format to follow like WWE and AEW do, North Wrestling does an amazing job at building characters, at building storylines that you care about, and when you go to the show, you see the match, it makes sense, and you have a definite, I want this person to win, I want this person to lose. It all works so well, and the talent is incredible. North Wrestling in Newcastle get the best, not just UK independent talent, but worldwide. People coming from America, from Japan, come through North Wrestling, and as I say, 50 shows in the last 8 years, and that's going through NXT UK periods, that's going through COVID and shutdown and lockdown and everything like that. North Wrestling isn't still going, but is going stronger than ever. This NCL 50 show was a sellout at Anarchy Brewery. 350 people in an incredible venue. I love going to see the show at Anarchy Brewery. I love seeing the show live, but I was given very special access by North Wrestling, an early access into their TV edit, because North Wrestling is on British TV, on Extreme TV. They also have a Patreon page, and I got access to the early edit, so I've watched the full show. So I've seen it live, I've seen the TV edit, and the TV edit is worth it. It's so worth finding on Extreme TV. Go into Patreon, because you get lots of extra behind the scenes backstage promos. The promos that are cut and shown on the screen are all there. The video entrance videos that are there are all edited in really nicely. The camera angles from the camera crew that are going around the ring, the hard cam, Tom and Vader on commentary as well. It is just fantastic. I'm so glad I've got to see the TV version, the Patreon version. I love it live. I do love it live, but there is something special with the edit, with the close-ups, with the music, with Tom and Vader giving the commentary. It was very special. It was a great show. It was a great episode, but it was great live as well, and I can't wait to talk about it. Now, I love North Wrestling. I love North Wrestling shows. They stack that card. WWE at the minute tap out at 5 matches on a PLE. North Wrestling average at least 6 or 7 or 8 in a 3-hour show. It is always a great show. It's always well worth the money. I love seeing it live. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to review my top 3 matches. Top 3 matches of the night. First in at number 3 was Henry Faust versus Mile Cayman. And as I say, North Wrestling do such a good job carrying on stories and characters from show to show. Even if they're 6 weeks or 8 weeks apart, North Wrestling still does a really good job of building that consistency for an independent promotion. And Henry Faust and Miles Cayman, they've been circling each other all year. They've had tag matches, they have interfered, they have cheated. There's been so much backwards and forwards, so we were really looking forward to the final showdown of the year, Henry Faust versus Miles Cayman. And for me, I'm a big Miles Cayman fan. He is a bad guy. He is the bad guy. But for me, he's almost ready to go to that next level. I really do rate Miles Cayman. And if you don't know who he is, he's basically he's like MJF. If you want a reference, I know it's a bit reductive to kind of say, oh, this person's like this, but it's probably, for if you don't know who these people are, if you don't know this talent, you haven't seen them yet, that's probably a really helpful shortcut for you. He's like MJF in his character and his persona, and he is just excellent in his in-ring chemistry, his in-ring psychology. Sorry, in the way he plays with the crowd, his facial expressions, his selling. Miles Kamen for me is fantastic, and Henry Faust has had a breakout year this year, and he's had some great matches. He's kind of like a Daniel Bryan sort, I think, in my opinion. And these two had a really good match. It broke out of the ring through the North Faithful crowd, even up onto the Anarchy Brewery bar. And they both came off the bar, and it was, Henry Faust looks like he had the upper hand, but then Miles Kamen, the heel that he is, a dodgy roll-up pin, and Miles Kamen got the win. But a really good match and another great showing from both these two, but especially Miles Kamen. Then my second favourite match of the night was the main event. Yes, the second favourite was the main event. And this was Leon Slater, the North Champion, defending against Gene Money. And I'm a massive fan of Gene Money. He is so funny. He is so smart, and he is so British. The way that he plays with the crowd, the way that he plays with wrestling convention, he's fantastic. And he's normally more of the comedy relief kind of a character, kind of a wrestler, and the way he plays with the crowd, and just what he does in the ring, and the way that he works, I personally love it. I really, really do. I think he's fantastic. So this was a bit unusual of a step up, but so worth it, because he's such a fantastic talent, and he was so worth his shot at the North title. And Leon Slater, he has been a great champion, 511 days at this point. He has been scouted and signed by TNA. So he's gone from the UK independent scene over to TNA and is getting on TNA TV in America, which is fantastic for him. But he is still the North champion. He still comes back and defends that title. And this was a main event. This was a really good match. Leon Slater being a heel, Gene Money being the favorite of the North Faithful. It was such a good match. There were so many good moments in it. And the finish as well. The way that they played the finish with the ref getting knocked out and then Leon Slater taking advantage. I genuinely thought that Gene Money was going to take it. They did some excellent false finishes, but in the end, Leon Slater retained. There's no one left for your boy, Leon Slater. And then my number one match of the night, my favourite match from NCL 50 at North Wrestling, was Emerson Jane versus Millie McKenzie. Now, Emerson Jane is a regular of North Wrestling. She is beloved by the North Faithful. Emerson effing Jane. We love Emerson Jane. And Millie McKenzie, she's been on a couple of shows now, and she has shown herself really, really well. I think the last two matches she's had, she's been busted open, and she's still cracked on and finished the match and delivered. This was always going to be a really good match, but for me, this turned into a 5-star match of the night for me. I really loved Emerson Jane versus Millie McKenzie. They have such good chemistry in the ring, and they put on an 80-minute match which had a full story arc to it that was developed, that started off with different holds and different pins, and then moved into wrestling with some suicide dives going out of the ring, and then just going suplex for suplex, going top rope move to top rope move. Some incredible stuff from both of these women. Genuinely, for me personally, match of the night, and it was incredible to see Emerson Jane get the win in the end. Now, as I've said, North Wrestling always put on a stacked card with so much talent, and I haven't mentioned Natalie Sykes and Rampage Brown and Trent Seven and Shreddy and Landed Gentry and Lycos Jim and so many others that make North Wrestling a great, great show. Made NCL 50 a great show, but make North Wrestling such a great promotion because they come back through time and time again. And North Wrestling is always great to watch live. I love the fact I've had the chance to watch the Patreon, to watch the TV edit, because they make such a great show out of it. It's a really top quality show. The promos, the segments, the matches, the filming, with the camera guys all around the ring, the lighting, everything. It's such a good promotion. It's such a good production. I'm so glad that I got to see it. And if you want to see it, the links are down below in the description. The Patreon link, the North Wrestling website link is down there. If you live in or near Newcastle, the northeast of England, you should definitely try and get to a North Wrestling show, come down from Scotland, come up from Yorkshire, come across from the northwest from Carlisle. It is worth it. It is such a great show. Such fantastic talent. And if you can't get to a show, you should find them on Extreme TV, or you should go to the Patreon and watch not just NCL 50, but their archive is there. You will not regret it. It is fantastic. It is the best UK independent wrestling has to offer. If you love wrestling, if you love independent wrestling, you need to watch North Wrestling. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. Like, subscribe, follow, everything you're supposed to do. You can find me, Imagine the Pop, on every social media network across the internet. You've got Blue Sky, you've got TikTok, you've got Instagram, you've got Threads, you've got the lot. And we're now on Twitch and Kick and of course YouTube, as you can see here. So thank you so much for the follows. Comment below. I'd love to get your feedback, and we'll speak again soon.